2020 Chapter 2 sure feels like it's going by fast, and now that we are halfway through it, there are a number of points to discuss this time, many of them positive. But let's get the worst out of the way first. The first half of the year was kind of a mess from a video production standpoint. I tried to do that one video every 10 days strategy again, but as usual, it didn't take long for me to start failing. Once again, I misjudged how much time I would need for each video. Something always goes wrong, and yet again June proved why it's month number 6 by being a kick in the balls, and it seemed like I was never getting that painkiller video done. I thought it would take like 20 days at most, but no, it took almost twice that, and crap kept getting in the way of me being able to record a voiceover. Bonus points for YouTube taking forever to finish processing the 4K version even though the studio page said that it was already done. After 3 days I was all like screw it and released it in potato quality. It's available in higher quality 4K now at least. The same happened with the Pokemon Gen 3 video, which is why it was released in 2021 even though it was supposed to be the last video of 2020. If it was only about Gen 3, I'd just release it before it finished processing, but for the remakes, that extra fidelity was desirable. Numbers-wise, most videos did okay. The current MVP is Retro Games in Widescreen, which got a spike around early May and is on its way to 4,000 views. Karnak 1996 did good too, as did the updated Gold 97 video, though I expected both of those to do decent anyway. Actually, for once I thought that a video didn't do as well as I thought it would. And after that video went live, the original Gold 97 video mysteriously took a massive hit in daily views, and it dropped off the top 3 after being there for an entire year. I guess maybe everyone just collectively decided that they didn't care about Gold 97 anymore at that exact day. Or maybe not, because impressions also got sliced hard. An impression is when YouTube suggests the video to the viewer, which implies that it's being recommended less after May 14th. YouTube's own staff claims that you should experiment and see what works, but sometimes it feels like that ends backfiring in some way, and that I'm only competing with myself. Plus, it leads to the eternal dilemma of doing things that get you views, or doing things that you actually want to do. YouTube also claims that inactivity won't hurt your performance, but the day I released the Painkiller video, a bunch of unrelated videos suddenly got a large boost to daily views. I don't understand the algorithm, I really don't. Anyway, let's get into what you really want to know about. I started the year with about 820 subscribers, and I expected 1,000 halfway through the year. Instead, I reached that goal halfway through April, and as of this video, I am approaching 1,200 subscribers. Took me 3.5 years, but I finally have big boy pants now. Thank you everyone. The big deal about reaching 1,000 subscribers is that I get to have community posts, and that I can join the YouTube Partner Program so I can make some doge by placing ads on the videos, hopefully none that are obnoxious. Or at least that was how it used to be, but now YouTube wants to slap ads on videos that are not monetized, so who knows what will happen. I can set the type of ads to play, but not control exactly what content you'll get. I can block or allow different categories, but the rest is on Google. If you see ads for pineapple pizza, that's not my fault. And no, I haven't received any money yet. But when I reach that €70 threshold, it will feel so good. I can finally tell my mom that I did a thing with my life instead of studies and random jobs that made me want to deep throat a loaded shotgun. But while setting up the ads themselves was quite simple, everything involving taxes was confusing as balls. It's like nobody here in Portugal has ever dealt with YouTube and AdSense revenue, and there's basically no information out there whatsoever about the specifics. I know I live in the ass end of Europe, but come on, surely someone has to know about this. Nothing I learned at school helped me wade through the bureaucracy nightmare that is this country, and our tax code does not cover this kind of situation. I spoke with a certified accountant, and they had no idea about the W8 ban form that creators outside of the United States now have to submit if they don't want YouTube to send a quarter of what they earn to the USA government so that they can go deliver some freedom to the Middle East again. The official manual is a wonderfully outdated document full of broken links, and it keeps referring to fields by numbers that don't even exist in the online application form. I mean, Jesus F. Christ, I just make stupid videos and Google sends me some pennies. How friggin' hard can it be? Ultimately, I went to the local financial institution, and after discussing the situation with them, they just filed me in as a normal service provider. Though I'm not convinced that the old lady who talked with me was fully aware of my otherworldly situation, so if I disappear someday, keep an eye on the news in case you hear about someone from the Azores who committed tax fraud by talking about cartoon girls. Just another regular day at Merry Industries. As for my regular day in a human malware world, it's been pretty uneventful actually. Most of the Azores have stayed in the single digits, or even zero in terms of active cases. The exception is São Miguel, which has been hit harder than every other island combined. It's still nothing crazy in terms of absolute numbers, but we are talking about a small archipelago whose population frequently interacts with one another, so there's always the risk of an outbreak. Masks are currently still obligatory, but whenever I go outside, I see many people not wearing any or not keeping any distance, and nobody really seems to care about the pandemic anymore. It's kind of funny going to a supermarket filled with hundreds and then hearing the announcer remind everyone to wash their hands and keep a distance from others while 7 or 8 people at biting distance shuffle around me on the fruits section. And by funny, I mean sad funny. But I guess that this relaxed attitude is a sign that things are going well, although it's also a potential liability for the future. And that future might be soon. Things are happening over in mainland Portugal. The infection numbers I mentioned 6 months ago have aged like the most spoiled of milks, because just a couple of weeks later they were twice as big. Since then, things have calmed down, thanks to another lockdown, the vaccines, and also people actually thinking with their heads for a bit. But it seems like the pandemic might be flaring up again. Portugal hosted the final match of the Champions League, because our very kind government that tortures foreigners to death and runs over people at 200 km/h decided that it was a good idea to bring over an army of divegrass addicts who spent the day making a mess out of everything before going home, just because of the economy, which seems to have become a very convenient excuse for whenever something goes wrong. And this was after Portugal's own citizens spent the past 5 months with a whole bunch of restrictions that apparently don't apply to foreigners, because the entire damned country placed all their eggs on the tourism basket, and now a ton of restaurants and hotels are getting rammed by the pandemic. Anyway, let's talk about the future of Merry Bytes. My plans for the rest of the year are, once again, nothing in particular really. There are a few games I want to cover this year, but I'll probably also end up covering others I wasn't planning on. Because plans change, things change, people change. It will be another 6 months of me just going along and see what happens. I have a regular video close to completion, which hopefully should be out in 3 or 4 days. But otherwise I don't have any master plan besides making updated videos on a couple of games that received updates since I first covered them. See, that second Gold 97 video served the second purpose. It was an updated take on the subject, because enough time has passed for some of the things I said to have become outdated. You have the expected cases such as Ultrakill and Monster Crown getting a whole lot of updates, but then you also have things like Medarot 1 getting an English translation. My writing and narration has also improved significantly, making the videos flow better and with less useless commentary. And then you have the technical quality itself, because back then I was recording at 720p and in many cases at 30 FPS, which really hurts the quality of videos with a lot of fast-paced movement. On top of that, I originally also decided not to use the game's soundtrack outside of a few short clips, which in retrospective is friggin' stupid. I guess I wanted to avoid copyright problems, but in practice it was only a problem once, in my first draft of the first Crossrace video, and it wasn't even a problem with the audio, it was the opening movie. Someday I want to redo those old videos completely so that I can have up-to-date information out there, since YouTube still hasn't invented some sort of annotation system so that I can put that info in the video itself where most people will actually see it. But it's not just me that has changed. It's been nearly 4 years since I started, and it was a couple of weeks ago during some compromising shower thoughts that it suddenly dawned on me how much things have changed on YouTube, both from the perspective of a creator and a consumer. The YouTubers that I have been following before Merrybytes existed have changed in some way. The way they talk, the way their voice sounds, the place they live in. My brain tells me it's only been 2 or 3 years, but then I look at the date on my favorite older videos and I realize that, yes Mary, you're getting older. Early life crisis aside, as far as numbers go, I should be able to reach 1500 subscribers by the end of the year. But as a bonus goal, if things go really well, I might even get close to 2000. But 2000 or 3000 isn't quite as exciting of a milestone, since it's just my numbers getting more numberier. I guess the next big one is 10,000 subscribers. Actually, by that point I would probably be getting enough ad money each month to justify telling the job market to go swallow a landmine. But that's a long-term goal. For now, it's just about waiting and seeing, and to keep the status quo. Because unless YouTube randomly shuts me down for some reason, or unless I do something spectacularly stupid, the numbers will keep growing. Slow, fast, it doesn't matter as long as it's growing. Even if I myself know that keeping the status quo is probably just me being a coward who is afraid of negative change. I complained about YouTube suggesting that I experiment, but they might be completely right. I spent so much time trying not just to be different, but also trying to not get typecast as a channel that focuses on one specific thing. Yet that's kind of what I've been doing for a while. Maybe that's what I'll end up doing on this second half. I've had ideas lined up for a while now, and I'm having new ones already. They should also be relatively short videos, around 10 minutes or so, which is nice since then I won't be getting hammered for an entire month. Either way, that's all for now. A lot of time has passed, I reached the magic number, and video production goes on as normal, for better or for worse. As usual, thank you very much for subscribing to Merrybytes and for watching my videos. We are already halfway through the year, but much can still happen.